Thank you very much, Mohan. I think basically what Mohan and Sujata have done overall is something phenomenal, to be honest to you. The centers they have created are no doubt fantastic, but the work they are doing for so many people in ophthalmology is also just excellent. This course which they do is such a famous course, not only in AIOS, but in American Academy, in ASCRS, and in ESCRS. And to be honest, it's a pleasure for being there. And Boris and others like Nivian and Manoj Khatri also, such a pleasure to seeing all of you there. So let's start this presentation. I thought I'll show you this case. And this is why I want to tell you, look at this. This is the problem in suturing. Someone has sutured this lens, and subsequently years later or sometime later, this is what happened. The lens starts subluxating. And this is where the IOL fixation techniques come into play here. Now we have taken the case back. You can notice I made my two scleral flaps. I'm making my sclerotomy. Now you'll notice there is an endocapsular ring inside the eye also. So I'm doing my vitrectomy, trying to clear it up. And as I'm doing that, look at that. The whole capsular bag complex is sinking. Now watch carefully. There is a segment also there. So the surgeon had actually done a great job, because you can see he had fixed it with an endocapsular ring. He's also fixed it with an Ahmed segment there. And you can see the suture also there. The problem is these sutures erode with time. And that's why Boris was talking about using the Gore-Tex. But here you can see I'm trying to take off that suture before it goes down into the vitreous cavity. There you can see that coming out. Now the problem is to remove this segment. I'm trying to remove this with the handshake technique. So I'll have to extend the incision a little bit on one side and pull it out, because you can see there is a loop of that segment there. And I have to be very careful when I remove this loop there. Here you can see the segment coming out. But the reason I've selected this particular case in this course was to show you the problems of this IOL fixation. Now, once that's done, remember my lens capsular bag entire is still inside the eye. So I have to just do a vitrectomy there. And once I do my vitrectomy, I will use the extrusion cannula assisted technique, which Ashwin has taught me, on trying to bring this bag out. Once it is there in the anterior vitreous, I'm catching either the haptic or the endocapsular ring, because you'll notice the blue portion is the haptic, but you can see the white portion, the transparent portion, is the endocapsular ring. Again, I repeat, the surgeon, whoever had done the surgery, has actually done a great job, because they have fixed it with an endocapsular ring and with the Ahmed segment. The pupil is small. I brought out one haptic, as you can see there, but I want to dilate this pupil. So I'm using these iris hooks at this stage. You can use the Boris's ring there, but in cases without capsule, it's a bit tricky. So here you can see I'm now removing all this capsular bag complex. At the same time, I'm holding on to the haptic so that I don't want that lens going down any further than already once it had gone down. Now you can see I'm trying to remove this endocapsular ring, because that's another headache which you will face. You need to remove that endocapsular ring also. That's my second haptic there. I'm doing the handshake technique, moving the hand from one hand to the other, trying to catch the basic endocapsular ring and also the haptic. Now you see both haptics have been externalized. I'm going to use this plug. This is a great trick by Steve Safran, Roger Steinhardt, and George Baiko. George Baiko started this whole thing of using this plug. So you can use anything like an IV set. You can just cut a small portion of the IV set, put it on a 26 gauge needle, and bring it onto the haptic there. Once it's there, this haptic will not go back into the vitreous cavity. Now, once my lens is stable there, my next step is to take out the endocapsular ring. Now, remember, when you remove this endocapsular ring, catch the haptic, because if you catch it somewhere in the middle, what will happen is the endocapsular ring will just break, and I want to bring it out en bloc in one piece. Here you can see I'm pulling out that endocapsular ring and taking it all off. After some time, all this capsular remnants I'll just knock off there with a vitrectomy probe and clear it all off. Once that's done and the endocapsule ring also removed, my next step is to refixate the other haptic which is lying inside the anterior vitreous space there. And that's quite easy now because the first haptic is already stabilized with the plug there. Here you can see the endocapsular ring come out there. I just had to catch this haptic and externalize the haptic there. Once both haptics are out, the next step is very simple. All we need to do is tuck the haptics in. Watch carefully. See how much of haptic is externalized. It's a lot. You need that much of haptic externalized. Otherwise, you will be in trouble again post-operatively. I'm very particular that I come more anteriorly so that more haptic is externalized. Take a 26 gauge needle, create the tunnel, Chariot's pockets, and then tuck the haptics inside. Once both haptics are in, my next step is to take out my iris hooks. At this stage, if you have an optic capture, please do a single pass photoreopuplasty. In this case, there is no optic capture. All I need to do is apply the glue and seal everything down and complete this case. Now, I wanted to show you one more thing as we have some more time there, because I have shown the glued IOL, but I thought we'll also show you this modification of the Yamanese, which we have published. It is the riveting handshake Yamane technique. I don't do, frankly, the Yamane for the simple reason we have assessed both Yamane and the glued IOL, and the stability is much more in the glued IOL because there is no tilt. But those who are still doing Yamane because it's comparatively easy, take 2 millimeters behind and 2 millimeters horizontally, as you can see here. But in this riveting technique, you see we are taking this needle inside, locking it straight into the leading haptic in the animation, as you see there. Once the haptic out, catch it. Now watch, this is the basic Yamane technique. But what we are doing is we are adding the riveting. That means you're taking a needle holder and pressing it, just like how Dr. Musa from Japan showed us for the rivet technique for the iris suture. We thought we'll do it for this also. Here you can see this is the Yamane technique. And what we're going to do now is we're going to compress this. Here you can see that's happening, and that's the compressing. This gives you a broader base. So the chances of it falling down or getting dislodged are not there. The next step is to do the handshake technique, because with the handshake technique, you are in full control, bringing this haptic out, doing the Yamane, now doing the riveting so that the case gets completed. And that's what I thought I'll show you on this particular riveting handshake technique. I thought I'll also show you the actual surgery of the same thing which I showed you just on animation. And you'll see here 2 millimeters behind. But again, I'm repeating it. We do the glued IOL by and large. This was the time when we were working on the Yamane to see how happy we can be with it. But we have gone back to the glued IOL because we have seen the IOL tilt is a big issue in Yamane compared to the glued IOL technique. We also published our results of a 12-year study of the glued IOL in the JCRS recently, which shows extremely very, very less tilt there. Here you can see the Yamane being done there. Now you will see I'll just take the needle holder and broaden the base there. In other words, rivet it behind. So once you have the first haptic there, I'm now doing the second one. I'm doing the handshake technique, which helps me guide the needle and the haptic bang on track so that they are both in line with each other. Once the second haptic is out, again you will see me doing the Yamane there and then doing the riveting of the technique there. This by and large completes my presentation, and I'd like to thank Mohan and Sujata once again for asking me and inviting me for this lovely course of yours.